Good morning, everybody. This is Victoria, your dog guru, and today our episode is all about how to pick a dog trainer. I do briefly want to thank everybody who's still listening to us. I understand our server hit the floor this weekend, and as a result, we are now hosting at Podbean. So if you want to check that out directly, it's dogguru.podbean.com. Okay, so now to the good stuff. How to pick a trainer, what to look for, what sort of questions should you be asking. So I have a few suggestions when you're asking questions to a potential dog trainer. First of all, I always ask if they do progress videos, especially if it's a board and train, not just one or two videos on the website, regular video updates of clients they're currently working with. Sometimes you'll only find the best videos, and I want to see the good and the bad. I used to tell our clients all the time those videos that we would post were real. They weren't edited, they were taken right on the fly, and if a dog made a mistake, they could see that in real time and not be wondering how their dog is doing or if we're just waving a magic wand. I wanted clients to have a very real, engaging way of seeing their dog in its process, because we didn't wave a magic wand. It was a process. There were failures, and those are in the video so that they could see what we did when the dog didn't respond the way we wanted them to. I thought it was really important to be transparent with the owners of these dogs, especially when they were in our care. But we used to take videos of clients week to week when we would visit them and show people the progression. So that's my first piece. You need to make sure that they've got videos. If they have a Facebook page, check their reviews, read their reviews, ask for references. You don't want to be in the dark and wonder if this person even knows what they're doing. You want to be informed. You want to speak with people who they've worked with, who have had success with them, and maybe ask questions to them. You know, if your dog struggled with this, was that addressed? How was that addressed? And then ask if they're still struggling with the problem. Questions for a dog trainer directly, though, should be something like, what is your methodology? What does that look like? What do you do if a dog tries to bite you? How often will we be working together? And are we going to be doing it at my house, or are we going to be doing it at your facility, or is it a board and train program? Ask if they're bonded and insured. If they're not, I would recommend going elsewhere. And then ask them if you can schedule a meet and greet. Not an actual class, but some form of consultation where you can see how they are around your dog and get a feel for their personality or their training environment, and see if it's a really good fit for you and your dog and your expectations and your goal set. You know, there are a million trainers out there, and a lot of them are good trainers, but if it's not a good fit for you, it's just not going to work. And you need to have a working relationship that really fits your personality type and gets along with your dog. I mean, if you're dealing with an aggression case, obviously they're not going to be friends right off, but there should be some level of professionalism that gives you comfort and a level of experience that gives you the sense of trust that you need to really start establishing boundaries with your dog, because whether they're training the dog and bringing it back to you, or you're going to them on a weekly basis, or they're coming to you on a weekly basis, whatever the case is, you need to know where their strengths and weaknesses are. I always recommend finding a positive reinforcement trainer. While there's lots of different methods out there, I find that to be the least abrasive and cause the least amount of emotional and mental confusion. So I feel like it's a very straightforward process where you have to build. And really, as an owner, the onus is on you to begin applying the strategies that you learn. Without practicing it, it's going to go right down the tubes. And that's with any form of training. If you have an anxiety or aggression case, that's a very specific form of training and behavior modification. So the more experience they have, the better. You don't want a trainer that just says that they can handle it. You want a trainer you know has handled it and has been successful in the past with these issues. And speaking of experience, if you're ever interested in speaking with me one-on-one, we offer Skype sessions and Zoom sessions where you can speak with me one-on-one and get feedback and advice and training tips on your individual situation. If this sounds like something you'd be interested in, I'm actually going to post the link on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/doggurupodcast, and you can catch it there. We offer a few different options on length of time. So we have a 30-minute option and an hour-long session option. So if this sounds like something you might be interested in, I'm going to post a link where you can schedule within my calendar something that works for you, the length of time that works for you. Once you're scheduled in our calendar, it'll take you through the process and the associated pricing. I'm well aware it's hard to find a good positive reinforcement trainer, but it's even harder to find somebody that's used to dealing with the issues and struggles that you have when it comes to aggression or anxiety. And that's still my forte. So this is a great resource for everybody out there that maybe they can't have somebody come to their house every day, or they don't have time to go to a class every week. This is a real option for you. If you do want to have a trainer right in front of you all the time, or just to attend a regular class, go ahead and sit in on one of their classes without bringing your dog. Get a feel for what the dynamic is like, what the environment is like, and see if it's a good fit for you and your dog. This also gives you an opportunity to speak with a trainer one-on-one and kind of discuss your issues and your goals of training and see if they can meet those. By the way, make sure if you're doing any sort of public class or the dog is going to be boarding or anything like that, that you've completed your shot series. You definitely want to have your vaccinations in line to protect your dog or puppy as best you can. So make sure that those things are together and straightened out before you seek out a trainer. Some other questions I would definitely ask is, what kind of training equipment does your trainer use? How will they be punishing the dog? What do you do if a dog starts misbehaving? How do you respond to that? Ask if they're members of any professional associations. And then my favorite question, do you guarantee training results? Because if the answer is yes, it's not a good idea. And let me tell you why. Dogs are not robots. And as a result of this, if you're hiring a force-free trainer, there shouldn't be a guarantee. There shouldn't be an insurance policy. Speaking as a trainer and a behaviorist of 15 years, I can tell you that I never guaranteed my training. I knew that I could provide them with the information it took and the dog with the education that they needed. But quite frankly, there are too many variables and free radicals that could affect training and could affect your long-term results. So if someone tells you, yeah, I guarantee my training, I would be rather suspect on how they're doing that. Also, you might want to put them on the spot and ask them, what are some signs of a dog showing stress? I say this for a few reasons. First of all, if you have a trainer or behaviorist in front of you that does not know how to recognize when your dog's stressed, then they won't know if they're inadvertently punishing the dog or compounding the anxiety, stress environment, or contributing to the dog shutting down. So this is an important one. Some of the answers I would expect to get would be panting, licking of lips, shifting, tail tucking, obviously whining would be one. Whale eye, which is kind of where your dog is staring and frozen like a statue. Ears laying down flat on their neck. The dog turning away from the trainer or from the training tool that they're using. Then there's the refusal of food or body shaking. So make sure you get some of those answers back when you're searching for a trainer, because if they can't recognize stress as it's happening, they certainly aren't going to put the dog in a good headspace. And so you're not going to make the kind of progress you could have if someone had recognized that. Sometimes dogs will fully shut down if they're too overstressed. So having somebody that can recognize the signs as they're happening and break it down, simplify the process for the dog, or simply give them a break, that will truly be valuable and important in that process for you and for the dog. By the way, these are just some forms of stress. There are others, so if you have any questions or would like to know some additional signs of stress, go ahead and send us a message or comment on our Facebook page, and we'll go ahead and send you that information directly. Like I said earlier, if perhaps you don't want to go this route and it sounds better to contact me directly, you can do that. We have both audio and video sessions available. I would truly be happy to meet you and your dog and see how we can get them to the other side of the problem. Helping owners navigate difficult cases is something I truly enjoy sinking my teeth into. A big part of what I do is empowering an individual to train their dog, to learn a process, so that long-term they don't need me. That's my home run. They should not need me long-term. But I want to help you get the wheels back on the road. So if this is something that's interesting to you, go ahead and click the link I'm going to be adding to this podcast, and you can schedule it there, and we'll just dive right in. Okay, so that's it for me today, everybody. This has been Victoria, your dog guru, and I look forward to talking to you soon, or perhaps seeing you on a video chat.